I was born in 1967. I was 6 years old. 3 generations of my family went to school here at the St. Joseph Mission Indian Residential School. Granny brought me to town to Williams Lake, and like any parent, they want to buy something new for the child to go to school in. So I chose a bright orange shirt, and it was bright and exciting, just like how I felt to be going to school for the first time. I never remember learning about residential school, but that's not uncommon because at home we weren't even talking about it. When we got off the Dock Creek stage, it was a blue bus. All of our clothing was taken. My orange shirt was taken. We were brought to the girls' side. We were deloused with white powder, even though we just had a bath before we left home, and put into showers. I was so scared, all of us. Children are crying. 5- and 6-year-olds should not be comforting each other, but that was the case. We didn't have anybody but each other. We could be tired, hungry, lonely, scared, sick, and there wasn't enough adults to come and help it make it better or to tell us it would be better. That's where Every Child Matters comes from. When children are put in situations where they have no control, they can't physically escape, being held hostage basically, we learn to disassociate, and that's the spirit leaving the body. That's how I got through that year of being here. My story here is a walk in the park compared to my mom, my aunts, and my uncles. Granny was the first generation. She went from 1925 to 1935, and then all of Granny's 10 children, including my mom, and to be abused and mistreated in every way. Sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, and there isn't anything they could do about it. When they were here, there's no use crying about it, talking about it, because everybody knows you're all in the same boat. So when you go home for summer, you want to be happy. You don't want to be crying about things and talking about things. You want to be home, you want to be happy, because they knew soon enough they'd be back here. Many residential school survivors have died never talking about it because of that. My mother was so traumatized by that experience that she could not look after me. And that alone, that abandonment, has been what I have had to fight with my whole life, of feeling not good enough. And I want less heartache and trauma. I want more education, and I want more healing for survivors and their families. And I think with all of that will lead to a healthier path so that we can experience more joy and happiness. Because for a lot of years I didn't feel that. In May of 2013, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission came to Williams Lake, and that's when I was able to tell my Orange Shirt story. And in 2015, we formed the Orange Shirt Society, and it's been quite the experience watching it grow. 2026 will be the first graduating class that will have had residential school teachings the entire time. I look forward to witnessing this graduating class come out. They'll be our next judges, our next lawyers, our next bank managers. My hope is my grandchildren have a different life than I did. Thankfully, I've come to understand is that I deserve to be walking this earth and breathing the air as much as anybody else. Seeing people wear orange shows that they care and that they're learning the history of what happened to us. So that may be the only justice we'll get in our lifetime as residential school survivors. I remain humbled and honored that my story can be a vehicle for change in Canada, and I look forward to witnessing the impacts that are yet to come.